Hey you guys, Shay Niche here. Thank you for stopping by my channel. So today we are going to be talking about Crochet Braids' biggest kept secret. Now the cat is out of the bag, okay? And I'm not the one who let it out. I just gotta say that. I'm not the first. So first I want to reference a video that was put out. I'll link that video down in the description box and place it right here on the screen somewhere. This beautiful young lady, she showed a demonstration, and I believe she's going to have more videos coming out on it. I was also already kind of working this past year, just trying to figure out, bouncing some ideas off of some other stylists on how we do this crochet braid, how we do this human hair crochet braid, okay, with the Weft. Let me first say this will not be the only video on this particular technique, okay? There are so many ways that you can do it. Honestly, it's endless, and it's really going to depend on, you know, are you doing it on yourself? Are you doing it for a friend or family member? Are you doing it on a client? It's going to depend on your experience level. It's going to depend on a lot of things. You might like a certain method, whatever. There's so many different ways to do it. Now, of course, there is the hybrid method, and then there's the regular Weft human hair crochet method. Some people use, like, basically it's like a sew-in, and then they use a crochet method to create an illusion on certain parts, or whether it's, you know, all your parts in the top or around the perimeter. There's all different ways that you can do it. So let me also say, this video is not for beginners, okay? I'm sorry, it is not for beginners. You have to be somewhat familiar with doing regular crochet braids before you move on to this wefted method, okay? It's just, if you want a more like detailed, broke down video, I can do that. You can request that. It'll probably be over on memberships, but I will do it. The hair that I'm using for this first demonstration is by Model. Honestly, like, it's human hair, but I really could have just got synthetic. It's called deep curly or something like that. I don't particularly like this hair, and I don't think it's just based off the fact that I prefer synthetic hair. I think I just don't like this hair. I don't know, but it just wasn't it for me. But it's whatever. So let me get my mannequin first, and let me introduce y'all to Jessica, because, you know, my very first mannequin head was this little white mannequin head, and her name was Jessica because she was used. I had picked her up somewhere, girl, and it had Jessica wrote across here, and so I had to get me another one. So this is to Jessica, for like two Jessicas. Anyway, as you see, we did this right here where it is creating illusion. This is all wefted hair. As you can see at the end, I didn't do the whole row, so there's the weft. The hair is still on the weft, and we created, you know, an illusion in the front, you know, and the part. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do today, the first way that you can do it. And yeah, so first let's go over the braiding pattern. And I touch on that more during the demonstration. I don't know why I can't talk today, but anyway, I touch on it more in the demonstration. But I just want to say that these 3 braids, this is the size that you want right here. They're very small. And I know a lot of times people want to go with like a bigger braid like this to make it bulkier. Use braiding hair, okay, to make it bulkier, to get, you know, that feel that you want. But don't let the base of the braid be bigger than this. It just makes it look more natural when it's like this, okay? But for demonstration purposes, of course, I have these bigger ones on the side, and that's what I use so that you guys can see it easier. But when this method is applied on these smaller ones, it looks so good, so good. Now, the braid pattern, most of the time, you will see about 10 to 12 singular braids this way, and then it goes into a beehive. I did not do a beehive because I knew I wasn't doing that part of it. My bad. Sorry. You done lost her eyelash. Where your lash at? She had, I use magnetic lashes, so that's what I had on. She lost her eyelash, girl. It's all right. It happened to us all. Usually in the back, there's a beehive method. Again, if you're a beginner, you might not know what that is, but if you're experiencing, you know what a beehive pattern is. So it's a beehive in the back. You want to try for like a smaller braid right here that's, you know, that's going to go across this way. What I usually do, and what I did when I did try this on my hair, and let me just say, yes, I was going to show y'all how to do it on your own head. I was. But honestly, it's hard. It's hard. I won't say that it's too hard, but that being my first time doing it on my own head and trying to show you guys, it just didn't. I could not do it. And I don't want to apply human hair bundles on this mannequin for nothing because it's expensive. And your girl ain't got it like that. I'm not doing that. So anyway, gotta use your imagination. It's the whole head, okay? Anyway, so what I did was so that because I didn't want this braid to be too big and too bulky at the top, and you have to worry about that if you have thicker hair, if your client have thicker hair or whatever. I did not include these braids in this. I braided this, and then I did a roll by itself, and then I use my crochet needle and I pull these braids through there, okay, if that makes sense, so that I didn't have to worry about it being bulky or anything like that, because of course you want your braid pattern to be as flat as possible. So I'm going to show you now the method that I used. We'll go over how I install this row, and what we're going to do is damn, I knocked off her other lash. God damn. Girl, those are my good lashes. In the next few videos or whatever that I put out regarding this method and this human hair crochet, I'll just continue to use these braids and we'll go through and I'll show you how, you can do it. But the first method, let's get into it now. Okay, so there I just put a nickel just so you can get a accurate measurement of what the smaller braid should be, like what size they should be. I hope that helps kind of a comparison for you. But again, for demonstration purposes, we're going to use that bigger braid over there on the side, just so that you guys can see a bit better. Now, while I was installing the hair on my own head, I did not cut the wefts unless I absolutely had to. That's just a preference. But honestly, the reviews that I see in my personal experience, if you're using the hybrid method where you're doing most of it as a sew-in and you're only using the parts for this method, this crochet method, the parts that are the illusion, you're not going to get that hair back. You're going to have to cut it out to take it out. You know what I'm saying? So, if you have to cut those wefts to make it more comfortable for you to install, go ahead, because you're not going to save it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, once it's there, it's there. You're going to just have to cut it out. Another reason why I'm not a big fan of this whole human hair situation. I understand sometimes it's necessary. I'm sorry, still can't talk. I understand sometimes it's necessary because people have allergies and stuff to the synthetic hair now. And of course, it'd be more convenient for them to be able to have a human hair install. So I understand why, it's necessary for some people and, it's the new big thing. But spending all that money on human hair and having to cut it out, even if it's after 8 weeks, I'm still hurt. But that's just me. So if you're going to use this method that I'm doing all over your head, then you're not going to be able to redo or reuse this human hair. So with that being said, don't worry about cutting the wefts. I mean, if you want to cut the wefts, cut the wefts. So what I do there is to get an illusion on the perimeter. I cut it the length of the base of the braid. Okay, of course it's going to be smaller in real life because our braids will be smaller, but for demo purposes, of course, we're using that big block. So I'm basically just threading the hair through the front of the braid. And being that it's big, I'm probably going to thread it through, I think, 3 times there. But more than likely, you're going to thread it through about twice. Like you'll kind of split it in half and then thread it through the front. And this is going to give you the illusion method, or the illusion that you want on the perimeter. And if you're doing the hybrid method and you're sewing it down first, you don't necessarily have to sew this part down. Just make sure that you do this part first. And then whatever hair you put on top, whether you sew it or you use this other method, either way is going to stay secure. So just stick it in there, girl, and let it be. Let it be. Now, if you are experienced in illusion crochet, which you're supposed to be because I've already said this is not for beginners. So if you are accustomed to shaving and like back combing it, this is what you would do to that hair to create the illusion, just like you would when it's synthetic. The only thing I will say is keep in mind that this is human hair. It's softer. So when you get ready to, shave it a little bit with a little shaver or something, be extremely light-handed because you will off that hair so quick you won't know what happened. So just be very gentle and keep in mind that you are not working with synthetic hair. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we go about putting the row on. Now, again, you don't have to cut the wefts, but for demo purposes, getting all that extra hair out of the way will help you be able to see what's going on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a little clip to hold the hair in place, and it'll be a little easier for you guys to see. So when you're working, if you use a little clip, a little bobby pin or something like that to help hold the track in place, that's probably going to be helpful. And I also double wefted. You don't have to. It just depends on the size and the volume that you want and the hair that you're dealing with. Is it thick? Is it really curly? Is it straight? Is it whatever? You kind of have to go off of the look that you want and, how you want the install to go, basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to take some of the hair and I'm going to pull it underneath the braid, right? And then once I do that, I split the hair in half and I run it around the weft of the hair and the braid, okay? Then I take the hair again and I pull it back through the weft and not the weft and the braid, but like underneath the weft, but through the braid. I'm going to slow it down and I'm going to show you again so you can see the steps. I know it's hard to hear, but this is how it's done. Now, you can do this part or you cannot. It depends on the softness of the hair. It depends on the kind of hair that you have, the kind of time that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the double knot method to keep it secure. This is used, it has been used for years when doing synthetic hair. I will say though, if you're doing the double knot method to keep it secure, again, keep in mind that you're using human hair. So you're not going to tug on it as hard because it will break. But let me slow this down and zoom in so you guys can see this second one. Okay, so you see how it is done. I'm going to show you the rest of these rows. I'm going to be quiet and just show you guys. Make sure you know that piece that we put in the front. Make sure that when you are bringing the needle underneath your braid, when you're working down your row, that you include that piece. Because I think I skipped out on that. I can't remember, but I think I skipped out and missed that part, trying to be sure that I'm in frame and all of that stuff. I forgot to go underneath that piece. But make sure that you do that. Now here I went to go get my back comb, but I dropped it behind the dresser when I tried to get it. So I just had to use a regular rat tail comb for now. But yeah, basically you can use your shaver and, you know, create a little bit more frizz if you wanted to. And then back combing, I'm just back combing it a little bit. Of course, it would help if I had my actual back comb, but I don't. But anyway, yeah, to do that just to create a little bit more static, you know, to give it that illusion that you're looking for. And it can be as, you know, frizzed or soothed as you want it to be, you know, again, that's just about preference. Okay, so that was the first method. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that you try it. Let me know if you do and what you think about it. I am not the creator of that at all. I have created a few methods myself. This is not one of them, okay? But I did not take the class. This may not be the way you learned if you took the class. I will not take the class because you have to sign a disclosure, I'm sure you do, you know, saying that you won't give this information out for free or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that you have to. So for that reason, I didn't take the class. I wanted to just figure out kind of how to do it myself. And then, you know, I figured out some other methods. And then a girl came out with a video and showed how she does it, whether she learned it in the class or not. You know, I'm not sure, she didn't say. But yeah, I just feel like it's really expensive. And if you want your hair done like this, you know, like it's not going to take away from that. Like either you can afford to do it or you can't. Either you can do it yourself or you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Or you can't. So like, I just feel like holding that information hostage just don't sit right with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I know some information, I'm gonna share it. Because if you want to get your hair done, you're gonna come get your hair done, right? And if you can do it yourself and you want to do it yourself, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Just go do the research and figure it out. You know, that's what we do. Anyway. I hope you guys like this video. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on any more videos. And of course, if you enjoyed this one, there are more coming with all the different methods that you can use when doing this human hair crochet installation. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. Love and light.